Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the news at 10, broadcasting on Channels Television, live from Lagos. Look at some of the pictures you sent to our Eyewitness portal. First is this one from Warri in Delta State, showing a military man manhandling a civilian. Our Eyewitness reporter is asking authorities to check the excesses of men in uniform in the country. Next is this one from Zaria in Kaduna State, showing two children playing with a refuse cart. Our Eyewitness reporter is warning parents to pay more attention to their children. The next one is from Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti State capital, showing a man on a motorcycle with two kegs with substances suspected to be fuel. Our Eyewitness reporter is warning against the danger of hoarding fuel. And we also have this one on your television right now from Igondo in Lagos State, showing a driver driving against traffic. Our Eyewitness reporter wants traffic wardens to go after such offenders. Well, yes, that's the picture sent in by our Eyewitness reporter, showing a man on a motorcycle with two jerry cans with substances suspected to be fuel. And finally is this one from Ibadan, the Oyo State capital, showing a long queue at a fueling station. Our Eyewitness reporter says fuel scarcity is beginning to raise its ugly head again in Oyo State. I'd like to thank all our eyewitness reporters for sending in those pictures and encourage you to please keep them coming. Indeed, the Eyewitness report from Oyo State is corroborated by this video we're going to show next of queues now reappearing in some fueling stations across the state. This is creating panic among the residents of Oyo State. Now, when Channels Television crew in Ibadan, the state capital, visited some petrol stations within the metropolis, they discovered that only a handful of them were selling the product. Now, some of the station managers who refused to speak on camera said they were not dispersing fuel because they did not have the products to sell. Some residents say they are at a loss with regards what the true situation is.
Nobody can really say what actually caused the fuel scarcity. It's like Nigerians just woke up one day and the next thing we just hear is just fuel scarcity.
I'm surprised when I got to Ibadan to meet Q. In Lagos, I bought Q without any stress. I was coming from Lagos. I came from Lagos this morning and there was no Q whatsoever. But I got here and I find out that there are Q here.
Most time they will tell us the fuel is available, government. But by the time you go out, you don't see it. Do you get the point? It's like somebody is lying to us here. So they need to be sincere with us.
Well, we now take you to Ondo State, where the live merrymaking in Akure, the Ondo State capital, has been on in the last couple of minutes, in the last 30-45 minutes. Important personalities and well-wishers of the state have gathered to celebrate Governor Olusegun Mimiko's 7th year in office and 40th anniversary of the creation of the state.
Another round of applause for Pa Ayo Adebanjo, the man that will not shy away from the truth at all times. He will tell the truth at all times. Thank you very much, sir. Before I will invite the next speaker, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, let me recognize our cultural ambassadors, Ondo State cultural ambassadors. I recognize Ambassador Jibola Dabo in the house. Thank you very much. I also recognize Funsho Adeolu. Funsho, I recognize you. Bimbo Oshi Ibironke, I recognize you. Thank you. Yemi Black, I recognize you.
A live video there from the merrymaking in Akure, the Ondo State capital, where they're celebrating Governor Mimiko's 7th year in office and 40th anniversary of the creation of the state. We will return to that merrymaking later on after the news at 10. Back to securities matters now, and former Inspector General of Police and Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Mr. Mike Okiro, believes Nigeria is winning the war against terrorism. Mr. Okiro, at a forum in Lagos, cited the positive news coming out from the military formations in the northeast in recent times. He, however, asked for more funding for all security agencies in the country to enable them effectively continue the war against the insurgents.
2 or 3 years back, it was every day Boko Haram, Boko Haram, Boko Haram. Now we're not hearing that much. What are you hearing is every day army, deal with Boko Haram, do Boko Haram. So you know that the security situation is improving and the Boko Haram is going down. The security agencies in Nigeria have not been properly funded. Let me give you an example. When I was Commissioner of Police, Lagos, a relation of mine was a mayor in a city in America, a city of 30,000 people. He came here, he gave me an award, I did the press, and they asked him a question about the fund. You know, in America, you can have their own police, like the mayor has, the whole city have their own police. He told me that in the city where he was the mayor, with 30,000 people, they had 10 helicopters. The police, take care of 30,000 people, had 10 helicopters. Now let us come back. Let us, the population of Nigeria is 160 million. By simple arithmetic, divide 160 by 30,000, multiply by 10. That's to give you the number of helicopters that Nigerian police will need.
Former Inspector General of Police and Chairman of the Police Service Commission, Mr. Mike Okiro. Now, the Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, Hamid Ali, has absolved the Customs Service of deliberately blocking the release of relief materials donated to the camp of internally displaced persons at the International Christian Center, Ohogwa, in Oyo State. According to Colonel Ali, who spoke to journalists during his visit to the center, the Customs has no reason to hold on to the items as the service and the center are already working out modalities for clearing them. National Logistics Committee of the Nigeria Customs Service, with the Comptroller General Hamid Ali, arrived at the International Christian Center in Ohogwa, Edo State. They have a mandate to provide internally displaced persons with relief items from goods seized by the Customs Service. Coordinator of the center, Solomon Folorunsho, and wife of Edo State Governor Ihiara Oshomole, lauds the initiative.
On behalf of the children, we are not Oliver Twist, but we want to still appeal that this will not be a one-off thing. But the question the children were just asking me, Daddy, will they be bringing it all the time? So I told them that I will not only tell you privately, I will say it publicly. You should please sustain it.
Sometimes when you do your best and you have a feeling that actually nobody is helping and nobody's seeing you, all of a sudden God shows that actually everybody cares. Items ranging from rice, vegetable oil to used clothing are to be presented. On the donated relief materials destined for this center stock at the ports, Mr. Ali frees Nigeria Customs Service from blame. He also says this welfare package will be sustained for as long as necessary.
In the port, there are terminal operators whose job is to bring down the containers from the ship, store it, take care of it until release, and they have their charges. So what is holding the container, I'm sure, is the charges from the port operators, not from the customs. The container does not attract duty, so customs does not have any responsibility to hold it. Our ultimate goal is to return these kids back to their home place of habitat, so that they can grow up like everybody. They can grow up in an environment that is conducive for them. So that is the ultimate goal of this government. But at this stage, we cannot turn our back and say, until we reach that, we will not be able to do something. We must feed them. They must be fed. They must be taken care of.
As the federal government's efforts to end insurgency strengthen, displaced persons have been assured of relief materials with this scheme. The Southwest Caucus of the Nigerian Medical Association, NMA, has threatened to embark on a systematic solidarity strike across the Southwest region in support of its members in Oyo State who are currently on strike. The chairman of the association, Dr. Adenike Odewabi, explained that this became imperative because the Oyo State government is showing a nonchalant attitude towards the plight of the striking doctors.
Till the demands of our colleagues in Oyo State are met, we will not hesitate to invoke all that is necessary within the ambit of the law to defend our colleagues at the state of Oyo in challenging the affront on our noble profession and innocent citizens of the state. It is imperative to appeal to well-meaning Nigerians and other stakeholders within and outside the sector to, as a matter of urgency, intervene before it degenerates into a national crisis. We appeal to the government of all the states in the southwest and the federal government of positive change to wade into this crisis and defend the cause of justice for the oppressed voices of Nigerians in Oyo State.
Officials from the Department of Petroleum Resources, Abuja, are in Nnewi, Anambra State to begin the inquest into the 2015 Christmas Eve gas plant explosion that claimed 8 lives and injured 6 others. The session of the inquest was with relatives of the deceased, eyewitnesses of the incident, and management of the gas company.
At the headquarters of Chikasin Group at Nnewi, the 8-man team from the Department of Petroleum Resources, DPR, in Abuja grilled the company's officials on the roles they played after the gas explosion, especially as it concerns the welfare of survivors and relatives of those who lost their lives.
Somebody sent for the doctor.
The managing director of the company, Mr. Linus Ilozue, alongside another staff, responds.
The mother of the owner of the house was burned. He seriously suspected that the fire started from that house. Because when this gas spewed, the president went in the direction of the house. Some eyewitness said that the woman had just come back from the market and was just trying to strike the bar.
There was fire already there.
Yes, there was already. She had started preparing her day. So it's possible.
There's no argument about it, but like we say, some of them, about 3 or 4, died in orthopedic hospital.
Some relatives of the victims who refused to speak on camera confirmed to the inquest team that the management of the company was living up to expectations. For the team, the visit is satisfactory as the true position of things are revealed.
Our visit here is intended to achieve the following. That one, to ensure that what the company said they are doing for the victims is what they are doing. I will also visit some places where they said they are building houses for compensation for the victims.
We're glad to hear from them that indeed all the support that the company had claimed to us that they had been given, that the next of kin of the bereaved actually attest to the fact that they have been giving them support and that they have given them strength to go ahead.
According to the DPR inquest team, the next move is to obtain the death certificates of victims and other documents from the gas company. It is not clear if the company would escape sanctions. The coming days would tell.
Well, the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has vowed to bounce back again. This is coming from the national chairman of the party, Alhaji Ali Modu Sharif, who attended the interdenominational Thanksgiving and victory service for the state governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, in Port Harcourt today. The PDP chairman said the Supreme Court ruling on Rivers State brings hope. For the state governor, his victory gives him confidence to tackle the issues of security in the state and brings hope for the party in the March 2016 rerun elections in the state.
The Yakubu Gowon Stadium in Port Harcourt played host to residents, family and friends, well-wishers and even members of the People's Democratic Party, led by the national chairman Alhaji Ali Modu Sharif.
That is why your name is forever.
Typical of Thanksgiving events, choirs take turns to sing praises. The senior pastor at the Salvation Ministry also prays for the victor, Governor Nyesom Wike, reminding him of the task ahead.
For wisdom to rule your people, receive this hour in the name of Jesus. We must love our dear state, River State. We must love Nigeria as statesmen, not just as politicians. Statesmen consider the state and the welfare of the people above themselves.
Governor Ayodele Fayose of Ekiti State also praises the Apex Court's judgment.
River State is the soul of Nigeria and should be governed by a man that fears God. God can never make a mistake.
In what is his first official assignment as National Party Chairman, Alhaji Ali Modu Sharif says he is confident of the chances of the PDP.
Today, I want to assure you, the new PDP that we are trying to put on the ground will, by the grace of Allah, go to the promised land. What is the promised land? Coming back to power again.
For Governor Wike, there won't be room for crime and lawlessness in the state under his administration.
As the Chief Security Officer of this state, I will always support the security agencies to fight against crime and criminality. I will not support criminals and criminal activities in this state. I will support security agencies. But I will not support the killings of innocent people who have not done anything.
As River State prepares for next month's rerun elections, Governor Nyesom Wike also wants the people to go about their lawful business without fear on election day.
When the news at 10 returns, industrial pharmacist appeals for preferential allocation of foreign exchange. To join us again.